not have fallen, I would not have found you. Angel flying too close to the ground. So I patched up your broken wings and hung around a while, trying to keep your spirits up and your fever down. I knew someday you'd fly away, for love's the greatest healer to be found. So leave me if you need to, I will still remember. Angel flying too close to the ground. By Willie Nelson.
I didn't say that. He said that. Last year they gave us donuts. We just wanted to return the favor, but they didn't want our donuts. So, whatever.
I thought the guy was very reasonable.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay, that's reasonable. Reasonable that we never said his donuts might have cyanide in them, but he made it very clear that ours might.
Well,
so.
yeah, he was intimidated by the numbers of us because we were such a big gang.
Sure. Okay.
It was my hat that scared him away.
All right.
You could tell I might be an Illuminatus.
Well, you definitely, you look like a British Illuminatus to me. So.
Well, indeed. Where do you think it all started, buddy?
All right. Anyways, donuts are going to waste, I guess.
I think I might even have one. I'm really, really hungry.
Please.
I don't know. You might have cyanide in them or something.
And now you believe their theories.
Well, you know, he was very reasonable, like I said.
Cyanide donuts, please.
Yes.
All right, thank
Give them
you.
back to Sean now.
All right. Can I ask you a favor? Consideration? We got a bad name. We have this. Well, then tell them this. My name is Peter Alexander, and will move this in 30 minutes. And because of this, I'm here talking to an interview, and I'll be gone. And if you can be nice about it for 30 minutes, I'll be out of the way until this got done. You already said that, and I already understand. I'm just telling you what I'm prepared to do.
They're already trying to kick you out of here? You just got here. First bully tactic of the day. It's a nice truck. It's an employee truck.
It's actually a nice spot right there.
It's just there.
For some reason they have a
It's a
massive truck here.
must be some extreme right winger because they have a oh no I didn't sticker. We got like a right wing extremist here.
Nice.
You have your other camera, Greg?
What's this?
Maybe you can help me with mine then.
Sure.
He's gonna come back and do an interview, so
You want me to
I
help
want to
you?
get some of this stuff on film.
Sure.
I'll probably record it too on my phone.
Alright. I've got a Joe. I've got this one.
will exalt you.
Why is my one
I
of my
will exalt you. I will exalt you. You are my God. Because you're with me. Because you're with me. because you're with me, Jesus. I will not fear. My hiding place, my safe refuge, my treasure, Lord, you are. My friend and King, anointed one, most holy.
I haven't turned down now. I'm just pressing it when I talk about it. When I turn the volume first, then I talk. No, I have it down first.
So unless they come back,
You obviously had some good dialogue with the sheriff, right?
I always try.
Yeah, so
Let's get
we had actually really good dialogue with the sheriff last year too. They didn't have any very good.
Yeah, it's just to make things beautiful. And the confusion reigns supreme. We're born into a world of lies.
So let's just take the Bible right out, right? Let's not even go to the Word of God, which was inspired by Him directly. 501c3s, I agree. That's going to be the downfall of the church. It's through greed.
If you want to have an
Absolutely.
intelligent conversation, don't put words in my mouth.
Okay,
If you
wait
want to have
a
an
minute.
intelligent conversation, let's have a
If you
conversation.
want to have an intelligent conversation, don't interrupt somebody when they're trying to explain something to you. See, you already lorded over me by you thinking you're smarter than me.
I never
Don't
said that.
question
Again, you're
my
putting words in my mouth,
intelligence.
although it might be true.
I put words in your mouth. Looks like you got plenty of your own in your mouth.
Okay, that's good enough.
How's it going?
Daniel, get
I am
behind
wild.
me.
I'm going to take a stand for the Bible here. The Word of God is our direction, our only direction. We stray from that, we have problems. That's why we're in the mess we have today.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
You can.
Just what is your reason for coming out here to the Grove today?
Because there's a stone owl in there that's been sitting there since 1872. Maybe even longer than that. I like to know where the origin of that thing came from. Did they make it here or did they bring it in? We know from the gods of the Old Testament, which were detestable to Jehovah God, that God said, do not have anything to do with them. Do not worship creatures, worship the Creator, me. The whole Buddha statue takes away from Jesus Christ being Lord and Savior. Jesus Christ is our ruler. He is the only one we are to worship. And I can tell every elitist in there and every people, even the gentleman in the white hat here, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord.
Thank you.
Christine is a well-meaning person, is sincere, and it would be wonderful for someone with that sort of dedication to be very open in her heart and realize that, that there's a book that every Christian person should see, and it's called The Bible Fraud by Tony Bushby, which is a comparison between the ancient Sinai Bible and this New King James Version, which was written by a guy named Shakespeare, Sir Francis Bacon, and it was done in Masonic codes, and that there's no less than 14,800 changes and alterations in this book, and that from that time, from the way back in the day, it was spoken of to beware of religious deceivers, of which this country has no shortage of, and that if we were really seeking to serve, that we would do just that. As powerfully and as humbly as we can, and maybe sometimes not so humbly. What we need in this country is to be spiritual, not religious. Religions are for pigeons. To be sheep, you got to go deep, and it's the lion's roar that's going to shut down the corporate store of war.
A Bohemian.
A Bohemian Club pencil.
Very cool. Sharpened too.
Yeah, ready to use.
The eraser.
It's probably got Illuminati cooties on it. I'm gonna probably come down with some Illuminati disease just from holding it.
You got a gift.
You better not touch me ever again.
You're contaminated.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
found that
baby.
right here on the ground, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Paraphernalia.
Well, the constabulary official is coming by.
Oh, good. Good. I wanted to ask him a question too.
He's fed up.
Oh, come on.
He wasn't in a conversational mood.
I just want to ask them why they're here. What are they doing
He
here?
didn't want you to be asked that question. Yep, talking with Mr. Greg Fernandez Jr., author of False Flags, and what were other?
Serve No Evil. Serve No Evil is the book that I'm currently working on right
Awesome.
now. So, which has a whole chapter dedicated to the Grove and to the Bohemian Club. Some of the history of the Bohemian Club, their history, maybe not the true history, but from what they say and how the Bohemian Club got started and all that good stuff. But today I find it a little weird. It's a little strange that they would have, well, not so much the no smoking sign. I mean, obviously, if you're inside there, you can do whatever you want. You know,
Yeah.
you can pee on trees. I don't know. Maybe you can't smoke in there. I really don't know. But
I'm sure they're smoking in there, Greg.
I'm sure they're smoking something. But
They're smoking tobacco in there,
Oh
Greg.
well, they might be smoking other things
I
too.
think marijuana may encourage a little too much free thought and that
Well,
kind of thing.
there's always crack. Crack is the rich man's drug, right? So, or no, that's coke.
Yeah.
But what really
OxyContin, I think, is
OxyContin?
yeah.
Well, okay, so they're popping pills.
Probably, yeah. They go good with alcoholic beverages, I heard.
There might be some pharmaceutical company CEOs in there. We just don't know really. You know.
I bet you a nickel there's one or two pharmaceutical company CEOs in there.
You might
Maybe
be
not
right.
today, you know, I don't know. If a lot of the important people gone home already today.
They could be, or maybe they're getting ready for the big ceremony
Yeah.
tonight, because tonight is supposed to be the big cremation of care that brings everything in. You know, so you get to throw away all of your cares for at least 2 weeks.
But that young busser we just spoke to a few minutes ago, didn't he? Well, I thought he said that the cremation of care happened last night.
He did, but when I asked him, so it happened on Friday, he said that he didn't really know. So it's possible. It's usually on the first Saturday. That's usually when they do their.
And that was a week ago
cremation.
yesterday then, huh?
It better not have been.
That was a week ago today then, huh?
It's supposed to be tonight.
Oh, okay.
Tonight is
Oh,
supposed
okay.
to be the big shindig.
I was thinking today was Sunday.
Yeah. Well, if it was Sunday, I'd probably be in church. Hopefully, I'd be in church.
This
But
is July 11th, 2015.
7-Eleven.
And we're in Monte Rio, California at the site of the Bohemian Grove, the Bohemian Club encampment. They got badges that say encampment 2015. Very prosaic.
2-week summer camp, right?
Yeah.
We found at least one pencil.
Yep, I personally
Yes, you did.
discovered purely by accident
We sure did.
a Bohemian Club pencil.
But this is new. This is something I've never seen. They parked their car here, and then at the same time put a no parking sign here. So how can we assume that any car that is parked here is going to be towed when they clearly have a car parked here that's not being towed?
There's an Orwellian aspect to it.
There is, right? Yeah. Thought that was a little strange. And why? What is the point?
Freedom is slavery.
I guess so. I mean, we never really park our cars here. Why they would park their truck here, it just doesn't make sense to me.
To show their brand loyalty to Ford Company, which has historically been associated with police and with intelligence like, you know, FBI and stuff.
That would make sense. Well, we tried to ask the cops why they were here and why they are pretty much guarding the Bohemian Grove. We have at least 2 sheriff's deputies out in front there, and we stopped one of them, and he told me that he was going to be right back, and he never came back.
Yeah.
So we're still waiting. I don't know how much longer I can wait, but I would like to know, like, why are the sheriff deputies here? What are they doing here? Are they here in case something goes wrong inside? Are they here in case something goes wrong outside?
No, I think probably they just are assigned. It's just a detail that people in good status in the local force have a chance to get assigned to. You know, it's just a way to earn money this day. I don't think they have any ideological attachment.
I don't know. I sure hope not. We were told that Chris Matthews is here. Was here yesterday. Might be here today again. But
think I hear the bottles crashing.
Oh, that sky just is disgusting.
Look at that, the cloud.
It's gross. I love heavy metal poisoning.
Tequila sunrise.
No. Wrong country. I saw you yesterday. No, I saw you in my dreams. We were walking hand in hand on a white sandy beach of Hawaii. We were playing in the sun. We were having so much fun on a white sandy beach of Hawaii. Sound of the ocean soothes my restless soul. Sound of the ocean rocks me all night long. Those hot, long summer days, lying there in the sun on a white sandy beach of Hawaii.
Trees are singing to me.
Massive, like redwood tree, like just huge, old, like tall, just like wide, like tree. Kind of like you've seen a.
And I think the good bands were here yesterday too. I have a suspicion that the good bands, like the jazz bands, are on Friday night.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense. But it's supposed to kick off this Saturday, like now. Today's supposed to be the kickoff.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. It's
But the
this
guys
year-
have been in camp already, probably. If it's like a
It seems
retreat,
like
they came yesterday and they had a nice sleep in their tent. And
Sure.
Today is the day when the real party is, and they don't even leave the premises probably.
We had one guy stop and pretty much told us that what's going on inside the Bohemian Grove is just silly. It's just a bunch of people acting silly. Thomas Keane has said that what they do here is silly. Lawrence O'Donnell has said what they do here is silly. So there's a lot of people that come here that aren't taking it seriously. It seems like the ones who are outside here, the ones that showed up here to protest, we're some of the only people that are really taking it seriously here. And all that we're taking seriously are these questions. What are they doing here? You know, it's a big difference in just asking what is going on here than to just say we know what they're doing here, because we don't know what they're doing here. The people inside there do, and probably many of them have no idea what the cremation of care really stands for. And the guy basically laughed, and you know, I said, so it's a play. What you're saying is that the cremation of care is just a play. And you know, it's just a lot of laughs, a lot of giggles, but you know, they said the same thing about September 11 too. You know, that was all fun and everybody was laughing at all these different theories and stuff. But when we really try to, you know, separate facts from fiction, what do we find? What do we see that's really going on here? They are doing lakeside chats. They're called chats. They're not called policy discussions. They're called chats. They do have a 40-foot owl here that is not called Mullen, but it is a 40-foot owl.
I forget, what do they call it again?
Owl of Bohemia.
The Owl of Bohemia. Oh, Owl of Bohemia. And they sacrifice care. And when I asked the guy, you know, why sacrifice care? And it's like, oh, we're just, you know, it's just to let everybody know that for these 2 weeks, we're going to throw our cares down. We don't have cares. And I said, but do you need a ceremony for that? You know, do you have to burn something before a 40-foot owl to symbolize that you're sacrificing care for 2 weeks?
Maybe
and
those
why
folks do.
sacrifice care? But if they're doing lakeside chats here, and if they're talking, that's not sacrificing care to me. I don't know.
How about the Italian consulate?
What?
Why were they here, and then what other consulates are here?
Yeah, who else is here? Who else
Well,
is here?
well, Italy is right behind Greece. They're the next country to probably default in a blatant way, so that it's like a question of will they exit the European Union. And so they're looking at Greece. And of course, they're a bigger economy by far than Greece. And after they drop the bomb,
Can we squash my
he came home and married Mom.
I didn't think about it. I was like,
You're like, it's gonna be a hot day. Sorry. I know, that's what I
And
think
not
too.
too
I always just like bring a jacket and sit on it.
after
I don't know,
that,
it's windy around here.
I was just like, oh,
he became
it's California in the summer. We'll be fine.
Usually it's like that, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, it's been like, what's the term? It's bipolar. It's really weird. At least where I was living, where I'm staying at right now. Like, one day it's just like really hot, next day it's just cloudy as hell. It's like 80, 70 degrees out. I'm like, what the hell? It was like 90, 100 degrees out the next day. It's like something like 80, 70 degrees out. And it's windy and cold. I'm like, it's all you guys breathing.
Can I ask you why you decided to come here to the Grove today?
Spirit called me to come here. I was going to go to San Francisco. I've been here on and off for about 10 years. And as I said earlier, if you Google my name and go to the video, the 6.5-minute video, I was interviewed here 2 or 3 years ago by Anthony Hilder. And that interview, along with 2 international lawsuits, one filed out of Sacramento and one filed out of Minneapolis by Jeff Anderson, is what knocked Pope Benedict off the throne. The first pope in 600 years to get kicked off the throne. So I'm here on behalf of helping to open the eyes and be supportive and hope tie together the efforts of well-meaning people that seek to make change for the better.
Have you ever been inside there?
I was inside, yeah. I was inside there once or twice in the 80s, and one of them, as I said, if you Google my name, Peter Cherneff, it's TSCHERNEFF. You Google my name, go to videos, find the blue 6.5-minute YouTube. It describes a particular event that I participated in here, which included some very powerful people in a private ceremony and the termination of a young missing San Francisco boy by the name of Kevin Collins.
Thank you.
Is this just a big party? Is this just a big club? You know, or is it something more? Are they building something here? But
by
to me,
definition, I think it's insulting for them to expect us to assume that there is a secretive meeting of ostentatiously powerful people from around the world to meet in a cloistered environment, and that we're supposed to agree that it's just innocuous, that nothing of consequence is discussed.
That's it.
It's insulting to us
that's all
that
they
we're
say.
supposed to accept that.
There's nothing going on here. There's nothing
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
Move along.
Keep moving. And we're like, no, there is something going on.
These aren't the
here.
Satan worshippers we're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. You know, I think.
But I think they're able to do this partly because there's 2 levels. The spiritual element, which I think is fundamental, and maybe you agree.
I do.
It doesn't have to be imposed upon the rank and file that come here. For them, did you hear that?
Praise Moloch, and that's kind of some of the things that we've been getting today. And these are kids.
Well, it's like
They're
it reminds me of
kids. They
those.
don't know any
It reminds
better.
me of the gay protesters who, like, you know, they crucified themselves and stuff or something just to tick off Christians and stuff. To let people know that they're doing this partly to offend morality and to offend people
it's
who
like,
are religious.
It's like stabbing yourself in the heart, and that's all these kids are really doing. When they walk by and they run by and they make comments, but they won't stop and actually chat with us.
Mm-hmm.
Now they say Moloch. This kid at least twice has driven by and said praise Moloch. What does this kid know that we don't know?
Well,
obviously
he probably likes
kid,
heavy metal, you know, and Satan rock.
Well, but what I'm saying is he's made the a bond between Moloch and this 40-foot owl.
Mm-hmm.
So You know, why? Like, why would he do that? You know, what are we talking about?
He's having a good time. To
A
him,
lot of
it's
people are having a
associated
good
with
time.
getting good things.
We might have saw one of the guys
The devil's
here,
more fun than God.
might have saw David Rockefeller.
Just like
Look just like David Rockefeller. We don't
You mean
know
an
if it
old
was
bastard,
him.
you mean?
I
He was
mean,
a little
really,
guy.
really old.
Yeah.
kidding.
Grimacing at him.
He only grimaces. His face is like a perma grimace.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is it. This is what you have to deal with here. You know, a lot of, I mean, this is like, it's not even high school. This is like middle school. This is like grammar school stuff. And you can't, I can't blame these kids for what they're saying and how much they laugh and how much they, you know, think that this is all funny. That's a tactic. That is a tactic.
Yeah.
That is
That is the same
Yeah.
way people
Well, this
do
is a
it.
lot to them, though.
So,
I was thinking they were making. What's California? The minimum wage is like what?
But they got to make money. You know, we all need to make money, and these kids are trying to make money too. But one day they will realize that this is not all fun and games. This is real life. And when you grow up and you turn from a child into an adult, then you start taking things like this seriously.
Mhm.
You know, it's a very selfish thing to just not care about what's going on here. To have a whole ceremony dedicated to murdering care, to sacrificing care, whether it's a play or not, is just weird to me. And then you talk about the people that are coming here. These are very powerful people. These are very powerful people, not only within our country, but around the whole world. So they're not just coming here to just, you know, have fun for 2 weeks. No. Everybody knows what happens on the golf courses. Anyone who knows about business is done on the golf course. Well, welcome to the Bohemian Grove golf course. Here it is, you know, and this is a very, very serious thing that is happening here. And this is not about me trying to prove that I know what's happening here, or that Sean knows what's happening here, or anybody else.
Sean definitely does know what's happening there, though.
We know Sean knows. But, right, Sean?
Hey, I just linked to my YouTube video, just as in the notes.
Yeah, baby. Sean Ackley, ladies and
Sean
gentlemen.
Ackley. Yeah, Sean Ackley, who brought all this up, and you know, it's a little frustrating when you see people driving by and they're laughing, giggling, and smiling, and it's like you're smiling while you are being, you know, just being a jackass, basically. You know.
Don't stop believing. By Greg Fernandez Jr.
No, by Eric.
It's Eric Galoob single.
What, you see another camera or something?
The guards are usually over here. I like to talk to them when they come by here. I do see another one. I see a motion sensor over there that I didn't see before. I don't know if the camera will pick that up though.
I heard a former president of the United States made allegations that homosexual behavior happens here.
Yeah, well, it looks like 4 military men just cruise
Oh,
by,
man,
just
I missed
cruised
it.
in there.
I would have saluted.
But yeah, well, so anyways, we're just trying to find out what is going on here. We're not going to stop coming here, and every year Sean sets this up. You know, we are going to be here every year. So don't ever let anyone tell you that there's nothing happening this year at the Bohemian Grove. No, there's something happening every year. Right, Sean?
That's right, Greg. Look, we're going to be out here every single year. We're going to talk to people. You come out here and be with us, and no matter what your political persuasion is, we're going to talk to you, we're going to network, and we're going to figure out what the hell these elites are actually doing, and we're just going to continue to talk about what happens at Bohemian Grove, because ultimately it's Bilderberg West. Bilderberg East happens, and you know, we have people that fly out there. There's tons of coverage of Bilderberg. in all of its European locations, but Bilderberg West is in our backyard. And when stuff happens in our backyard, we're going to be there. And that's what happens. So we're going to talk with staff, we're going to talk with any numbers of the participants that are here. And more importantly, if you're a group that wants to have interest in the Bohemian Grove, what the Bohemians do, talk about political talks, lakeside chats, any of the activities that they might try to put together politically, because guaranteed, Greg, there is political interest that happens here and political policy that gets made here. And let nobody tell you that that's not the case, okay? Political policy is happening right here at the Grove, right now and throughout the next week, okay? The Italian consulate that was here last year is in absolutely no way here because they want to frolic in the nude in the trees, okay? No. They're here because their corporate masters said, we want the Italian government to be here, okay? And who on earth knows who else came last year, who comes come this year, and who comes next year? But you know what? We're going to be here. And you want to send us information? We're up on YouTube, we're up on Facebook. Just get us the information, tell us what's going on, and we'll just share it. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
Look at that.
Veterans and retired law enforcement. Okay? And the way they keep doing that is by getting some kind of 18-year-old, black or white, from somewhere around the country to do a mind-controlled shooting of something that's going to garner sympathy only because
I've seen that before.
something
No
on the
tail.
TV for
No tail immediately behind it, but it turns into the real fat.
like you're doing with this young lady. I'm sorry she got shot, but the reason this is all happening is to make Sheriff
That is
McCready
weird.
look bad, make the police department look bad, and they have done nothing wrong. This is an MK Ultra program. This was people like Dianne Feinstein are deep into this. She's CIA. She's as corrupt as they come, and so is Jerry Brown. And
Never seen one so.
of course, there are a bunch of Jesuits. Jerry Brown's
My old man.
The bottom line is I was born in the MK programs since I was born into them. I was pulled out of them by some very powerful spiritual people about 1989, 1990. And I have since turned a lot of the information of things that I was forced to do under multiple personalities, things I didn't even have memories of until 2003. I've turned around and since made them very public, and my writings and efforts have had a variety of effects, not excluding, of course, including the termination of Pope Benedict from the throne, first time in 600 years. I've written things about a lot of local events, the missing case of Amber Schwartz Garcia, Kevin Collins, and there was at least one or two others, and that people have actually been murdered over the information I put forth in the courts, which goes into a whole nother level of stuff. But I'm sure you'll be able to review a more lengthy interview that I have with Sean right here today. So I'll be glad to answer anything else real quick if you wish.
What about, I know you probably read the Franklin cover-up and know all about that. Some people say that ties into what goes on here, or to some of the people here, child rape and.
Well, it's way bigger than that. It's been given that 100,000 kids go missing every year in this country, and they disappear into a variety of vortexes. Some of them are otherworldly, like black holes, but a lot of them are underground. We have underground cities people don't know about. We have a lot of underground projects, programs. We have a lot of experimentals going on. There's a lot of people that use the word eugenics, but see, that's not really what's happening. It's transgenics is what they're doing. It's not that there's people that are superior. It is black, brown, white, all kinds of colors. People that are the superior families in those races around the world, they are involved in transgenics. They do the eugenics thing in order to have people focused in the wrong direction. And there was a guy named Joseph Mengele who was very powerful in this country. He had several names. He came under the name Dr. Green, Dr. Greenbaum, Dr. Felix Polk. I knew him. And so in Los Angeles, what's that one church, Dianetics, what church is that?
Scientology.
Scientology, they have a museum of psychiatry which deals with all the crazy mind control stuff and the physics stuff they've done since the 1800s, and they got pictures of all these dangerous or notable psychiatrists and doctors, except for one. You know the one they don't have? The one that they have worked with in the past that's top secret, Dr. Joseph Mengele, who died in California in the early 2000s. A guy named Adolphus Hitler, otherwise known as Hitler, died in Lake County, California in 1986. They were both brought over here on the hidden side of Project Paperclip.
Have you seen the Big Owl in there?
I'm sure I have, but I don't have any memory of it. But in regards to what was the name of the book you mentioned?
The Franklin cover-up.
The Franklin cover-up. One of the children I was involved in was the Amber Schwartz Garcia case. Her picture is in that book. I have had the pleasure, so to speak, or the fortune to meet and speak with Senator John DeCamp on at least 3 occasions over the last 15 years. Actually, longer than that.
Is he still investigating this, or do you know anything? Because I haven't heard much about him recently.
No, he's had a lot of back pain. He's had a lot of back operations, and he's getting quite a bit older now. Yeah. And he was good friends and worked with Ted Gunderson, former head of Los Angeles FBI, for a long time. And Ted, rest in peace, left us 2 years ago.
Yeah, that book made me cry. It really made me cry. It was hard to read, really hard to read.
Well, it touched upon things that allowed other people to bring in things from other directions. That's one of the positive things about it. And it also named names. George Herbert Walker Bush is, I mean, he was on the ground with the guys down there at when Bush was, when Kennedy was terminated in Dallas. And what's interesting, if you really want to know who Frank Sturgis. If you Google Detective James Rothstein and Frank Sturgis, you'll find a very interesting story about what got James Rothstein to become famous and also originally fired from the New York Police Department because he was ordered to protect a woman who was going to testify in a Kennedy-related matter in the East Coast, and they actually sent in someone to take out this woman. He caught the person, which he was ordered to protect her. He caught this person. He had some sort of an Italian name, but his AKA was Frank Sturgis. Frank then made a phone call out of the jail to the White House and was released in half an hour and never to be seen again. So if you Googled Detective James Rothstein, Frank Sturgis, or Detective James Rothstein, Pope Benedict, you'll find some very interesting stuff. And one more, Detective James Rothstein, followed by Human Compromise.
Maybe this is a training ground here for something bigger, for something better. We'll just have to wait and see. But the one thing that we do know is something is going on here.
Everything's alright. Bring everyone inside when the rain comes over the mountain.
So who here says they know John Jekyll? Yeah, it's amazing.
So right now we're driving back from the Bohemian Grove 2015. Eric, what did you think? First time at the Grove.
It's an enjoyable time meeting some interesting people and going into God's country.
What is God's country?
The Sonoma County Redwood Forests.
It's cool to hear you play some songs too. I like that.
Standing under the redwoods in the canopy with the sun wafting through, strumming my ukulele, crooning a couple of melodies. It was very pleasant.
Yeah, it's very, very peaceful, I thought. There was a strange vibe that I kept getting at that place. It just felt something felt off. I'm still not sure what that was, but
It might have been a very eventful day yesterday at the Grove.
yeah.
That might have been part of what we were sensing in the people who were there going in and out, what they knew or didn't know, what they had heard or hadn't heard about what had happened. Maybe they had information here the night before, we don't know.
Yeah, there was at least 2 members or 2 guests who actually stopped and kind of talked to us. So they didn't talk for very long, and they didn't like what we were saying or some of the reasons why we were there, but at least they took that time to kind of stop and talk to us. Like the one guy was saying that there's nothing going on. They're just a bunch of silly people doing silly things. That was basically it.
Well, he may have actually believed that too. That maybe is all that really matters to him.
Yeah, well, he definitely didn't want to hear anything
Just
about...
a chance to hobnob with powerful people.
Sure, why not, I guess.
We did see those hawks circling too, which made one wonder whether there were some carcasses.
There had to have been, I'm guessing. At least 3 or 4 hawks were circling.
Well, there was that one moment where there were 5 or 6 or more, it looked like.
Yeah.
After we first saw the hawk circling, and that was 10, 15 minutes after that, I snapped a couple of pictures. I can't wait to get home to see if, when I blow them up, whether you can really see them. It's a nice clearing in the redwood grove in the sky, and you can see them circling over there. It might have been over a meadow or something.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see that. We saw some chemtrails for the first time in 4 years of going to the Grove, at least.
Very prominent ones. In fact, that one plane we saw that had that kind of trail where no trail behind it except for quite a few degrees away, and then it was a very powerful double trail.
Yeah, it was almost like it went off and went back on or something.
Like they had the ability to make it invisible from some distance from the plane.
It was like the higher the plane went up, the less you could see the trails for some reason. And we did try to give them back donuts. Like I said, last year they gave us donuts and we didn't eat them, and we tried this year to give them donuts. They wouldn't take them, so that's too bad. Thought there might be cyanide in them, I guess.
He said cyanide. There might be cyanide in them. It seemed odd that someone would think of that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They still have that view that we're there for some terrorist purposes, basically. We're just standing outside.
I don't see any irony in that.
I'm sure they do. That was a little weird. The guy at the restaurant was a little weird too. But like I said, we were just sitting there eating, and he comes out and acts like he's looking at the sunset or looking at the river or something. But he's listening to everything that we're saying. And then after we leave the restaurant, then he comes outside and starts asking us about if we're like in a music band or something like that.
So, are you guys in the music industry? And y'all said no real quickly. And then I interrupted and said, yes, I am. For crying out loud. I was the one guy in the group carrying a musical instrument, which had attracted attention explicitly from others already throughout the day.
Absolutely.
Including from the couple when we walked into the restaurant and went out to the veranda.
Yeah, and he didn't make eye contact with you, or he only shook my hand too.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Well, getting a DNA sample.
Oh, great. That's all I need.
No, he needed it.
Oh, he needed it.
It's being analyzed as we speak. You're being checked through the international Interpol terrorist database. See if we get a match.
How does he get the DNA from his hand off, you know, to where he can test it or whatever?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure there's some kind of technique.
Yeah, maybe he just gave me cancer or something.
They know what his DNA is, and he's scrupulously avoided any contact with anyone else. Therefore, they can extract the DNA and all of the DNA that's clearly not his then, and that agrees with itself. Now they know it's this person that he shook hands with.
What would be the point of that?
I don't know. But I don't know what the point of any of that was. I think people are just weird and spooked.
Yeah.
I don't think he was up to anything concrete, really.
Yeah.
He was not competent enough, I don't think. I think he would have engaged me when I spoke up so loudly like that. He would have engaged me figuring that I'm talkative. He'll find out some useful information, whatever it is, just by engaging me. But that wasn't what he was about at all. He was just about seeing you bear a slight resemblance to one of the guys in Metallica.
Is that true, though? I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I think there's a slight resemblance because of the way your hair is looking right now. You kind of let it go kind of long and wavy there. I think that's it. The combination of that and the way your facial hair is groomed, there's a slight resemblance to that one guy who kind of looks Hispanic in Metallica.
Interesting.
But it's not a strong resemblance.
Yeah, he's probably taller too. Come on.
I think he's taller, older, and more kind of stony rock musician looking too. You know. So it's not a strong resemblance.
He wouldn't wear a Captain America shirt.
He wouldn't hang out with four doofuses like us either.
Well, we had some employees come up to us and engage with us. Were actually talking to us.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting, really. All those groups of looked like restaurant help coming out to have their cigarette out there in the creek bed.
Yeah, which
like,
usually,
why aren't they allowed to have the cigarette inside the encampment?
I guess not. Usually only a few of them will come out. I've never seen so many come out at the same time. And they're all in the same area, too. So, and it's weird, like, why would they not let them smoke, considering everything else that is going on?
Sure.
That's a little strange, too.
But I think there probably just isn't a place that's set off apart from the activities there where they just wanted to make sure that when they're on their break time like that, they're just away from the activities.
Yeah.
So that they don't get any more ideas or decide to start peeping, like listening in or making it, getting their iPhone out and making a video. In fact, now that I think of it, I don't think any of those guys with their cigarettes, I bet they aren't even allowed to bring iPhones and stuff like that.
No.
When they work there, that's probably one of the agreements, because such a large group and there were a lot of young women there. There would have been iPhones out there when they were smoking, but I didn't see a single iPhone. So.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't either. Very curious. And we have one guy tell us that one employee told us that the workers are not allowed to make eye contact with the guests or the members of the Bohemian Grove.
That's weird. That would just be weird.
Yeah, like why not? Why wouldn't they be able to make eye contact? How? And I think you said it, or somebody said, well, how can they serve them if they can't see them?
Yeah, how can you provide personable and gracious service without giving any eye contact?
So they're probably like serving pre-set up dinners or pre-set up,
yeah,
like
exactly,
tables and stuff. So.
Yeah, everyone is seated at the table with their own spot.
Right.
And so the orders are, the person at chair 6 gets this item, and it's simple as that. There's no need to ever look at them.
Right. You just go there, you put this on the table, and you walk away.
Yeah. Put the plate down and walk away. Do not look anyone in the eye.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Straight to jail. one kid who actually told us that he worships Moloch or prays Moloch. So, I mean, come on, man. You just have to.
Saying that.
Well, of course, but it's like.
But I mean,
it's a childish.
It's nothing. That doesn't disagree with what he's learned on his favorite heavy metal band's album. There's probably heavy metal bands that do have lyrics about Moloch and stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure their parents are proud.
We know this. Bohemian Grove is going on right now. Its final day is this Sunday, and they are doing occultic rituals, having orgies, having homosexual sex. And the issue is it's the Republican leadership doing it. Not everybody that goes there is bad. Not everybody, there is a Satanist, but it's a way to induct ruling class people as the doorway into the deeper cult. But even John Ronson, who snuck in with me but made me promise, the guy that wrote the book, Ministeric Goats, that got made into a movie, he wrote them. He made me promise not to say he was there because of liability. He could have gotten sued. He, I, and Mike Hansen stuck in. I had to not put a lot of the footage in to my film because it was John Ronson there with us. But I put Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove out, and he was there. He saw it with me. He saw the big photo on a tree of Henry Kissinger. There was Secret Service nearby, so I couldn't get the camera hidden and get footage of it. Dressed in drag, doing something sexual.
We're not on the property, sir.
No, you are on the property.
No, I'm not. I know where the property line is, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not on the property line. We've been here 4 years. We make sure that we're very respectful, and we make sure we're not on the property line.
Am I gonna be famous?
No, sir. There they are talking to the sheriff there, trying to kick us off the property line. We know exactly where the property line is. Sheriffs have already told us where the property line is, and we're going to respect that property line.
Hello.
How's your day going?
My day is going great. How about you?
Good.
All right.
There's just a request to move to the other side of the road. Would that be okay with you, sir?
Sure. Why not?
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
If you could, would you mind answering one question for me? Please? Pretty please?
You can try.
I could try?
You
Okay.
can try, yeah.
Well, we were just wondering, I had spoken to a deputy sheriff 2 weeks ago, and I had asked them why they are guarding the Bohemian Grove property. Can you shed any light on that, or
Just doing my job. Okay.
they paid you for that? I mean,
So thank you for moving to the other side. I'd really appreciate it.
sure.
Okay.
Thank you. I've been told by many sheriff deputies that that this is the property line and we can stand here. So
Okay. But he was saying where you're standing belongs to a different property owner.
right. So is there someone that I could talk to, a sheriff deputy or a sheriff maybe, and find out why the sheriff deputies are guarding the Bohemian Grove? What would be the best way? Contact Sonoma County Sheriff's Office, I guess.
Try that route if you'd like.
Oh, the sheriff deputies are always nice to us every year.
Well, we're humans too.
And we do appreciate that. And we are too. We're not trying to be disrespectful or trying to, cause trouble or anything. So.
What's your plan here today? I haven't met you before.
No, actually, I haven't seen you here before.
Okay, I'm Caroline.
Yeah. I'm Greg.
Greg?
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Are you part of a group or
No.
just private citizen?
Yeah, just citizens.
Yeah.
We're just trying to figure out what's going on here, and so far haven't gotten too many answers. So we'll be here till we do.
But it sounds like you're aware of the trespassing laws, correct?
Well, I am aware of what the sheriff deputies have told us where we can stand and where we can't stand.
Okay.
So.
Just as long as the person who owns the private property where you're standing doesn't complain. If that person complains, then you might have to move to where your friend is.
I would have no problem with that. No problem.
All right, Greg, take it easy.
Thank you very much.
This is not some moral judgment of this, not because I don't make moral judgments, but because get past that and just look at it for what it is. Blackmail. Even Spy Magazine, even People Magazine admits huge problems with HIV at the Bohemian Grove back to the 70s, back to the early 80s. Just huge, bizarre behavior with former presidents, prime ministers, British royalty, Dutch royalty, female prostitutes down the road at the hotels, 2,700 acres with just men having sex with each other. This is to compromise people. And it's going on right now.
And they're still discussing how they can kick us off of this property here, but they can't. So we're good.
Same thing at Skull and Bones, homoerotic, worshiping the devil. And every culture that goes downhill ends up worshiping a dark entity. So whether you believe it's real or not, the elites do believe in the devil. I've been there inside for 5 hours, and I thought it was like a stupid devil worship play, except the men were raptured. They were dead serious, more focused than I've seen people in any holy roller church that I've attended.
They were trying to kick us off of the property and tell us where the property was. I know exactly where the property was.
This is the property line here.
Yeah.
Well, the deputy never answered my question about, you know, why they're here. All she said was, I'm just doing my job. That's it. So, and you have these, you know, you got Dumb and Dumber here. Who are just basically, I don't know what their job is, what their purpose is here. Yeah. So.
We're just here to shut the press down, and that's all we're doing here is exercising our First Amendment rights to capture footage in public. I mean, it's not like we're trying to bum rush the fucking event.
No, they're just being douchebags, basically. They want to kick us off, kick us out, but you know, we've been here for four years now.
Yeah.
And we know exactly where the property line is. It is a little weird that if you look at the, I don't know if you can get a shot of that, of the deputy, get a shot of the deputy and the guard and see how closely their uniforms look. Their
Right,
uniforms
you can't tell the
look almost
difference.
the same. So that's a little weird. But we're not going to be intimidated by any of these people.
Yeah, so they got the sheriff out here.
Two sheriff deputies. Two deputies out here. And the question is why? Well, I'm just doing my job. We're just doing our job. So, well, you keep doing your job. That should not be your job, to protect a private
Well, yeah, their job should be to
club.
expose the people that are sacrificing things here and meeting in secret under the Logan Act in clear violation.
Yeah, and I do wonder who's paying for that, and if the county has a problem, if the citizens of this county have a problem with that.
Right.
Why should they be paying for the sheriff deputies to, you know, guard the Bohemian Grove? I think they have a lot of better things to do. So that's another question we have.
Well, we're not being belligerent, so we're just here covering.
No, she was nice. The deputy was nice. Like I said, most of the deputies are really nice to us. They have no problem with us. Take it easy, man.
Yeah, again.
There's not. I don't understand why you need two deputies out here either. I think that's a little excessive, but I don't think you need any. I don't think you need any deputies.
That's the taxpayers' money right there. They're going to work for the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, well.
I mean, I guess they think they control the world, so they can control the cops.
I don't think they're as powerful as they think they are.
I mean, if we're out here, they're powerless.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will be a testament to the rest of the world to do what we're doing, and hopefully they'll do a better job.
Well, maybe there's too much funding. Maybe the sheriff deputy, maybe there's too much funding. Actually, I think he's trying to show us his badge, you know? Oh, ready for action. Are you ready for action? Is what he said.
I mean, these people were hardcore serious, and their eyes were on fire during the mock human sacrifice of a child. And we say mock because it appeared to be mock. People say you're covering up. Look, look, they found dead kids in the areas, but a lot of weird stuff. You talk to the locals, it's like one of those vampire movies from the 60s with Peter Cushing. And, you know, he's trying to talk to locals. They won't talk to him. I mean, it's like that. It's very Transylvanian looking, too.
Three. Oh, we got 3 deputies here. Okay. Wow. 3 deputies, 2 people. We are popular. That's tax money well spent. Your tax dollars hard at work. Let's have a party.
No, there's 2 sheriffs. and
Three.
security guards.
3 sheriffs. 1 security guard, actually.
3 sheriffs and 1 security guard.
3 sheriff deputies, you should, to be accurate.
Dan picked someone up. Hey.
Yeah, I saw that. It was a worker, one of the cooks, I think. Or no, servers. Servers wear red, cooks wear white, I think.
Mark Dye, I'm on the guest list.
Anthony Hilder, bro.
Anthony Hilder was okay, but I met Mark Dice literally like right here. And he was just standing there, you know? And I got to talk with him, I got to chat with him. Oh, that was cool.
Conceived at the Grove's Clubhouse. If this is just a vacation spot, why did Senator John DeCamp say that in the 1980s that boys were sexually abused and shot child porn in the Bohemian Grove? That's not an internet rumor, that's a former Senator John DeCamp said that Paul Bonanzi and other children were taken into the Grove in the 1980s and sexually abused and shot child porn by one of the groups in here.
There must have been. They wanted thousands of people here, and we only got maybe a couple hundred or so. But to me, that was still good.
This is my my favorite protest sign.
We're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it.
So this is where the 2012 Occupy movement had their little festival. That was actually my first time coming out to the Bohemian Grove. There's a bunch of people in the fucking trees right now.
I think it's a guy and his dog or
No,
something.
there's another guy over there.
Oh yeah, two people.
So it was a trip, dude. Like, everything was here. Left, right, center, whatever.
Cindy Sheehan.
That we couldn't go in the street because they don't want anybody to get hurt. My response was, people get hurt every day because of those people up at the Bohemian Grove. Right! They should be protecting us from them. Right! Not them from us. Right! We don't have any riot gear. Right! We don't have any guns. We don't have any helmets. We come in peace, but they don't come in peace. Sorry. I was gonna go like, which side are you on, officers?
Mark Dice.
Cindy Sheehan was here. Mark Dice was here. Anthony J. Hilder was here. Deborah Tavares was here.
She was here too. Yeah.
It was like this massive group of people, all just meeting together.
We're just like you, you're us. We're you, you're us. We're all the same. Officer. We're all the same, officer. We're all American citizens. And for you to defend and protect the Illuminati elite is wrong. You have an oath. You swore an oath to defend and protect this nation from tyrants, foreign and domestic. Do your job, officer. Follow your oath. Visit the oathkeepers.org website and enlist today. Please don't take our guns when they give you the order to do it. Please don't take us to the FEMA camps when they tell you to take us to the FEMA camps. Let us be. We do not want war with you. We are your brothers and your sisters. We are you. You are us. You are citizens of the California Republic.
Back to what I was saying about the unity. There was left and right converging on the Bohemian Grove together as one. not separate, not Democrat, not Republican, just people. You know, Cindy Sheehan comes from the far left. You know, some people say she's a communist. Whatever. You know, she's anti-war, she's anti-drone strikes, she's anti-Bohemian Grove. You know, rituals where they decide on future events for the world. And every single politician that was here, she was calling them out. You know, she was like, well, you guys are here meeting in secret and whatnot, talking about what's going on, you know, in the future of the world and whatnot. And she was just one of those people that spoke out, you know, I guess from the left voice, but the voice reached everybody, you know, left, right, center, whatever, you know, and it was that unity that we had for a moment. You know, everybody met here. There's a big giant festival that, you know, booths. There's booths all up on the side and back of us here, everywhere. It was like everybody was working together. And then the year following, 2012, 2013 came around, and it just disappeared. Where'd it go? You know, where'd Occupy go? You know, they knew that the Federal Reserve was screwing everybody over. Maybe that's why Occupy got infiltrated by the George Soros crowd. You know, I could be wrong. Oh yeah, they're just talking about golf and the latest sports course. Yeah, probably. But they're also, you know, doing what Adam Smith said. They're conspiring against the public. You know, rarely do we meet for merriment and enjoyment, but when we do, we create a conspiracy against the general public. And that's what Adam Smith was trying to say during those meetings. You know, when those types of meetings happen. Yeah, it's a world stage, everybody's on the stage, but you have actors, you have players, you have people that make things move. And when they meet in private, that's when, you know, they conceive these ideas. Okay, let's start World War II. Our Project for New American Century, which was prior to 9/11, you had Karl Rove here. You had a bunch of people that were involved with the 9/11 attacks coming here. Donald Rumsfeld is allegedly a visitor of this club as well. And Donald Rumsfeld was one of the guys that led us into the war against Iraq and also in Afghanistan, saying that, you know, they harbored and helped Al-Qaeda terrorists, which we know to this day is not true, because Saddam Hussein was actively fighting against Al-Qaeda and terrorist people. And I'm in no way, shape, or form trying to lionize Saddam Hussein or make him sound like he's a good guy, but compared to the new dictators that they are trying to install in Iraq to keep the instability going, I mean, I guess Saddam Hussein was a saint, more or less. But at the same time, he killed a bunch of people, you know, with his chemical weapons that he acquired from the United States. You know, so it's like, well, look at the receipts. Where did you get the chemical weapons from? You know. So again, it's just this cabal, I guess you can say, of elite people meeting together for 2 weeks throughout the year to basically decide what the next step for the New World Order is. And if you don't believe in the New World Order, well, that's you. You know, there's plenty of statements out there of them declaring a New World Order and talking about it. I mean, George Bush, September 11th, 1991, clearly said we need a New World Order to combat worldwide wars and poverty and all that type of stuff, with this grand utopia idea of, yeah, peace on earth. Peace on earth for who, though? For the elite? To keep us enslaved, keep us locked under the Federal Reserve System? It's even a legend that the Federal Reserve not only was conceived on Jekyll Island, but also the rich and famous industrialist tycoons met here as well. So the Bohemian Grove goes back to the late 1800s. This is not a 20th century, 21st century type of thing. This is, you know, dating back to the 1800s. So there's a lot of history here. We're here to do what we can do to expose evil. And if small voices like ours can be heard, I'm pretty sure your voice can be heard as well. So step up to the plate, be strong, be bold. Nothing can stop you. And that's pretty much all I got. Let's take a trip down to the gates and see what we can see. So this guy in the white truck has been kind of eyeballing us.
That might be our donut guy, actually.
And watching us and seeing what we're doing, so we're already under surveillance pretty much.
Yeah. That looks like the same guy that tried to give us donuts 2 years ago, and we refused. And yet, this year, we wanted to give him donuts, and he didn't want them. Didn't want to take them.
They didn't want them.
So the real question is, what are they doing here?
Yeah, so these are all here from the county of Sonoma. It looks like the county is actually paying for the security here.
Not only that, they're paying to have a...
We have the county sheriff here as well.
They got a little speed.
Yeah, they got the speeding sign, so I guess if you're coming out of the Grove and you're drunk, watch your speed.
I wonder if I could run that, actually. You think it would mark me if I... 2 miles?
Probably got a camera in it. So again, you can see here we got the Sonoma County.
Oh, here they come again.
The Sonoma County.
Let me try to get them on film.
Yeah, so here comes that white truck again. The guy kind of scoping us out and taking a look and whatnot.
We're gonna ask them what's going on here.
He may or may not say anything.
He probably will. Looks like a nice guy.
Yeah, he looks like a nice guy. He's creeping up and down the road. So.
Yeah.
Probably got a good shot of us too.
Hey guys.
Wow, guys.
Hey, how's it going? You don't want to talk with us?
EG01219.
No? Ah.
So they're recording us as we walk up and we got good footage of us. I'm sure they're gonna use the NSA data bank to see who we are. I'm sure they're over there taking pictures of our car. So there they are. So yeah, we're being watched.
They're gonna come back again.
We barely even made it halfway there, so hopefully they don't do anything funky to our car. No one's at the car watching it. Again, countless no parking anytime signs.
Yeah. Sonoma County. Yeah. County of Sonoma. Another guy.
Then we got a guy coming out of the woodwork. Right in back of us. Some hippie dude.
Oh, where'd he come from?
Walked out of the trees.
I didn't see that guy. The shuttle.
Came out of the forest.
There's another shuttle there. Okay, so now we're entering the Bohemian Grove property here. We're not entering the Bohemian Grove property, but
we're not gonna break any laws. We're just here.
But we're on the line here, and you can see the Bohemian Grove is still going on.
Yeah, the parking lot's cool. As you can see, I don't know how good you can see into the forest here. Let me try to zoom in.
It looks almost just as full as it was 2 weeks ago. So it looks like there's just as many people here as there were 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, there's someone walking in the forest over there.
Oh, good. Well, there are workers.
Might be the security guard.
Yeah, there are. You're gonna see that. There's the security guards, which are friendly. All the people are friendly here. It's not, you know.
Yeah, generally the people here are usually pretty nice.
Yeah, they are.
You never know. It could just be another front.
Even we got a blue jay or something here on the tree. But,
yeah. So here's the sign here. I'm not gonna break any laws. And trespass. That's the no trespassing sign. So we got that. Basically, if you go past this barbed wire fence here, it's
yeah. So you can see.
We're not here to violate any law.
No.
We're here to expose people.
It's nice to have multiple languages, though. Somebody tore that down. still here.
Pretty sad this year. No one else made it.
Still has a cell phone inside. Hmm. Smoker. Why they would park this here is still
Probably
open
recording
for debate.
devices in it.
Could be. So we got one. Greetings. Is this the final day? No, tomorrow's the final day. It's almost over. Sure, you've seen a lot. It's been a long 2 weeks, I'm sure. What are they doing?
Hello. Ready for another round. Ding, ding, ding.
Trying to record you guys? Yeah, what does it matter?
I don't know, I guess it's just like one of the craziest ones. Went to Governor Vargas.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, we went to just to go cover. I guess the memo got out. They all just stayed quiet. Security was cruising around. Video taking us.
We're trying to find out.
Yeah. Some bigwigs.
They got 4 now. There's 4 here now. I've never seen that many.
Yeah.
This is taxpayer money.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's the taxpayers. I mean,
And this
there's
is
some
private. I mean, this is private property.
Yeah, some guy in the local town's getting his house robbed.
Exactly.
There's no police. Sorry. We have to get back to you. They're all at the Bohemian Grove.
Well, I was even asking him, like, why are you guys here? And she just said, I'm just doing my job. Well, didn't the Nazis say something similar?
Exactly.
I didn't tell her that, but
Yeah, the secrecy.
yeah.
I mean, you know, we do this every summer, trying to get as much information as we can.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out what's going
Yeah,
on.
I mean,
That's it.
you know,
That's
if they're open about it, I wouldn't even be here.
Yeah.
You know, I'd just be all watching on fucking TV. Yeah. All it's on the news. New TV. You know. But since it's that, it's like, yeah, there's security guys. Sometimes they come up in here. When we're here in 2012, there's security guards up in the trees, right here on the side and whatnot.
You know you got some big wigs here with atmosphere.
Right, yeah. Right.
Did you see the video of the ceremony?
Yeah. That's what piqued our interest. But I think the allegation There's allegedly a female version of this guy. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm sure she's part of it. I can't remember what they're called.
Yes, there is. Yeah, because Paul St. Pierre, it looks like. Where the hell is ABC News at? He said it's alleged that they control it.
On our way there, we really didn't see too many people, just kind of security detail, I guess. But the moment we got to the gate, some of the workers going in and out for, I guess, shift change or breaks or whatever. But one of the workers asked me for a cigarette, and I was like, yeah, bro, you can have a smoke, no problem. And I asked him, I said, how are they treating you in there, man? And do they treat you like crap, and you guys get paid good? He was just a little pissed off, but he wasn't too comfortable talking to me. He kind of got a little freaked out when I told him who I was with. He asked me if I was with, you know, any news organizations. I said, I'm just here doing this for the people, and we are change and groups like that. So after I said that, he kind of got weird, but he really didn't explain anything of what he saw in there. He really didn't talk about it, but he was kind of spooked that I even asked him, like, hey, what's going on in here, bro? So yeah, it was interesting. We saw a lot of other workers come out. You had the first-hand experience dealing with the sheriff and some of the security detail coming up to you at the gate. I was actually over in the back talking to some other people that were just cruising along, and they started asking about what was going on in the Grove. Just two random, this couple, I guess they're from somewhere up north, and they're just kind of driving around doing the tourist thing, and they knew about Alex Jones and the Bohemian Grove already. So to me, that was a surprise, just some random people actually knowing about what's going on. Surprised in a good way. We have, as we engage against the enemy, we have this idea that no one else knows about it, and that we're the only ones that know about it, and you can't talk to anybody about it. But that right there was just a testament to show, look, there's other people that are in this world that know about it, and you're not crazy or conspiracy theorists or anything like that. You're just an investigator trying to find out more of what's going on in there. And those two people that I spoke to, they asked me what I knew about the Grove, and I said, I only know what's come out. You know, I've never been in there. I only know what's been leaked out by Alex Jones, the whistleblowers, other people that have actually infiltrated it, and also from the testimony from some of the victims of the satanic ritual abuse that they've experienced there. So that's all we can go off of right now. But we do know that very powerful politicians, industrialists, pretty much the corporate elite meet there annually for 2 weeks out of the year to participate in the cremation and care ceremony, as well as discuss upcoming events and what the future holds for them, because they're deciding the future of the world in terms of geopolitical things. Like 1 year we were there, we were fortunate enough to speak to an Italian diplomat and try to get some information from him. It seemed like he was more or less a low-level guy that really didn't know the inner workings of the elite and what was going on at the higher levels, but he kind of, you know, knew something was going on, but he was there. We've also had other people come out and talk about their experiences within. Locals talked to us back in 2013, I believe it was, and gave us a picture of a map, some of the cups from in there with the owl on it, the Bohemian Club owl and things like that. So there are people willing to talk about what's going on in there. I'm sure they fear for their lives because the rich and powerful are the ones that, you know, meet in secret there. And when you have millions upon millions of dollars, you can afford hit teams. You know, if I'm not mistaken, the average assassination is like $500,000 to $1 million. And if these guys have billions of dollars, I mean, all it takes is just a paycheck or a check of or cash, whatever, you know, to take out these people. But with that said, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of anything, because they fear us more when we take them head on. They want us to be pacified sheep that don't even discuss these issues, because when you're ignorant, it is not bliss. You're not in the know, so they can do what they do behind the, you know, behind the shadows in secrecy. So it's up to us as investigative journalists and just the general public to exercise our First Amendment rights and go to places like this. I mean, the Bilderberg group, they just met in, I believe it was Sweden. Right, it was Sweden?
I don't know.
This year. Well, anyways, the Bilderberg group met. Thousands upon thousands of reporters convened on the event, tried to get as much as they could. People from the Telegraph were getting harassed. People from InfoWars went there, they're getting harassed. You had security forces, I believe it was under the name of Cobra Security or something like that. I mean, this is straight out of a movie. I mean, you can't make this up. Fact is always stranger than fiction. But once you start looking at the reality of what's going on around you, it's like we're living in a sci-fi movie, but we're not. We're living in reality. So, like I said, it's up to us as individuals, as people who care about our fellow human being, to expose this and try to do everything we can to put it to an end. It's like they say, there is no stopping Armageddon. There is no stopping what's happening in Revelations. But we as Christians can do what we can to prevent things from going on and fight hard against the devil and don't allow them to create these, you know, these massive schemes where they take the entire world into war. I mean, in order for the war to even begin, someone has to pull the trigger. And if they know that they're pulling the trigger for, you know, an unjust cause, they're not going to want to do it. You know, so hopefully, as we expose more and more of what's going on, people will see that. I mean, we've already seen instances where the United States Marines were questioned, will you fire upon American citizens? So some of them said no, a lot of them said yes. So, you know, why would they even be asking those questions? You know, is something going on that we don't know about, or is everything that the conspiracy theorists in the 60s and 50s talk about, is that coming to fruition now? You know, we've seen basically the pretty much destabilization of the entire Middle East. I mean, they were working on peace in the Middle East for years now, and everything they do just continually destabilizes everything. We have the Wahhabists in Saudi Arabia pretty much funding ISIS and other terrorist groups to create havoc in the region. By creating havoc in the region, you have a conflict zone, which increases the prices of oil, and the availability to get that is a lot more difficult because you have to hire security forces, you have to constantly fight against Al-Qaeda, ISIS, different mujahideen type organizations that, you know, are continuing the jihad against the West. So it's in their best interest to keep this artificial scarcity going, so that there's constant war throughout the world. So hopefully after today, it'll get other people to think and make the decisions on your own. Can't tell you what to think.
Any final words about your trip?
It was nice. It was nice. We got to see a lot of forest and nature. We're back in the bay again. It was about an hour and a half drive from here. Right now we're just looking over at the bay. It's got a nice view.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The Richmond Bridge right here in San Francisco Bay. So yeah, anybody could come out here and do what we did. Hopefully someone else out there will do a better job than us, because I just work 9 to 5. I'm just an average guy. I'm nothing special. But you are.
Thanks a lot, man.